I love that video. I love that message. What he said there at the end was one of my favorite things. Many people talk about what they're going to do, they boast about it. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. But very few of us actually get there. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, but I want to really dissect our network. What this is so much bigger and better than a card or some savings or just a commission or whatever it may be. There is so much to our network, and it all starts with us. I've said it many times. When you ask me what the product is, we're the product. It's the value of the network. It's about leveraging the people and the members of the network in this amazing family. I'm afraid to say brotherhood. I'd rather say family. That was a inside joke. Anyway, I'm actually coming to you tonight from a member's home, Matt and Laura Farmer, and invited me to a presentation. After this presentation, I'm excited about it, but that's what we do. We work as a team to build this, and so anytime you have the opportunity to help a teammate, please do it, because that's what this is. And I'm really excited and humbled to be here tonight. But one thing I want to talk about is not making excuses for ourselves, kind of really look at what this is and the opportunity we have out in front of us. And I wanted to start it out with 6 degrees of separation. This to me is one of my favorite things. This is straight from Wikipedia. 6 degrees of separation is the actual idea that all people are just 6 or fewer social connections away from each other. As a result of a chain of a friend, statements can be made to connect any two people in a maximum of 6 steps. I'm going to actually share real life situations in my own life. Okay, and I'll name names. I won't name last names, at least not people in our network. I don't want to embarrass anybody. But here's what's amazing. I had a good friend, Graham. He called me about 2 years ago. He said, John, I want you to look at this thing. It was something with Bitcoin or whatever. So I took a look at it, and I jumped in it with them as I get my feet back into network marketing a couple years ago. And Graham was never a huge network marketer. He was just a gentleman I knew, a really good guy. He was good on the phones, and he was a sales guy and stuff, but had never done anything in network marketing. Anyway, he calls me, and he introduces me. So I was his first degree of separation. He introduces me to my friend Warren. So I talked to Warren, and he's really big on Bitcoin and everything. And Warren was my first degree of separation because it was my first contact through Graham. Warren introduces me to a gentleman by the name of George, who's my second degree. He introduces me to Jamie. Jamie is on my front line in our network, building a massive team, and he's connecting me with people in numerous countries where, when the bank rolls out, we've got just tens of thousands of people coming into this thing and all sorts of. I didn't know Jamie. Had I not taken that phone call and spoke with Graham, who was never a big network marketer, I wouldn't know Warren. I wouldn't know George. I wouldn't know Jamie. I wouldn't know any of these gentlemen, and I wouldn't have this massive project going on behind the scenes with our network once the bank rolls out. I wouldn't have any of that, all because I listened to somebody and I took his call and I decided to get out there a little bit and then start talking to the people that he knew. 6 degrees of separation. Another thing, and this is kind of a funny story, but it's true. I made a challenge a couple months ago. I said, if anybody can bring me Kim Jong-un and get him in our network, I'll give you $5,000. And I was just, no one's going to be able to do it. Within 5 minutes, I got a phone call from my friend, and he said, John, I live 2 houses away from Dennis Rodman. I'll get you Kim Jong-un, which is kind of funny. But my friend was the first degree of separation. Dennis Rodman's my second degree. Kim Jong-un was my third degree of separation. So nobody can tell me that, oh, I don't know anybody. My network's too small. And those are excuses. Okay, another one, I'll tell you one more story. I went and I built out a Massage Envy years ago. The gentleman that built out my store, they were contractors. They said, hey, we want to introduce you to Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil. They kept saying Uncle Phil. I didn't know who Uncle Phil was. So I said, okay, they're my first degree of separation. Then all of a sudden, they introduced me to Phil Marriott, who sits on the board of Marriott, hotels and everything. He's, You know, father was one of the owners of Marriott and everything. He introduces me to Mitt Romney, who introduces me to this gentleman, because I knew some contractors. 6 degrees of separation. We all have bigger networks than we even realize. We've got to talk to people. We got to open our mouths and talk to people. Dave Dove did an awesome call today, and he brought John Stahl on. And you know, so he's got the 3-foot rule. He talks to anybody within 3 feet of him, whether it's about our network or not. It could be about anything, and he just opens his mouth. Network marketing is about opening your mouth. Now, saying that, it's also understanding what you're presenting to people. What is our network? What do we have? So obviously we have the, you know, we've got the card coming, we've got the bank rolling out, we've got the savings, we've got the global bonus pool, we've got a lot of things. But I want to really peel back the layers a little bit tonight. And I want you to learn how to answer questions and learn how to close the deal. A lot of us are looking at different marketing systems right now. We've got Fusion that's rolling out in November finally. I'm very excited about that. I've been working on that for months, but things just kept changing. We added this, we added that with, you know, we instead of doing the silver and silver plus and all that, we went in a different direction or whatever. Corporate did some different things, which is fine. I love where they're headed. But now we know where we're going and I'm able to roll that out. But what happens when you do get a lead, when you receive a lead, when you talk to somebody and they ask you certain questions? We need to be equipped. We need to know how to answer those questions. So I'm going to throw some of those questions out there tonight. You know, question number 1, why isn't the card here yet? And do you have prospects that are waiting for the card, and why? Why are they waiting? What are we sharing with them that's not complete enough for them to sign up now? What are we sharing where they're not seeing the full picture or vision of what our network is? Okay, so why don't we have the card yet? Well, the simple answer is this. You can't have a card and share merchant fees with the bank until the bank rolls out. There's number 1. Yeah, I mean, without the bank, there is no card because the two are connected, correct? So you got to know that when you answer the questions to say, well, we're rolling the bank out first. Well, where's the bank? That's the next question. And well, easy. The bank's rolling out when the bank's ready. You know, we've heard Richard talk about it many times. We've heard a lot of people, we're acquiring banks. Well, a lot of members and a lot of prospects and a lot of people, they don't understand the process. And I'm not going to walk through every single step, what it takes to acquire a bank. But I can tell you, you know, I know a little something about it just because a very close friend and business partner of mine grew up in banking, and his dad owned a bank, and he's been around banking his entire life, and I know a lot of people in it. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, we're gonna acquire a bank. It takes months and months to do so. So what if we were told it may roll out in September and October, and maybe it's gonna be next month or whatever? It takes time. There's a lot of steps that have to happen. Are these steps being made? Yes, they absolutely are. But I just tell prospects it's easy. Let's focus on what we have now and just know that the people behind this, the Trent Walkers of the world, the people, you know, the Richard Smiths of the world, all these other gentlemen that have these connections in all these different places, these guys didn't start this company to build it halfway and just stop and quit. They haven't had the success that they've had because they're quitters, because they stop. All this stuff is rolling out. I tell prospects that. I say, you know what? The bank will come when it comes. But in the meantime, there's a lot of us making money right now. There's a lot of us cashing out commissions and saving a lot of money with what we have right now. So let's talk about that a little bit. What do we have right now? We've got the $1,000,003. We've got the global rev share. We've got the 10 in the pan. We've got the ability to share. We've got an office in Provo, Utah. We've got, you know, bios of the people behind it, the president or whoever, Richard being the president, everybody else, the creators. We know we've got Roger, who was a marketing director over at NASCAR. We all know what Trent Walker's done with Google and Facebook and everything. You know, we know what these gentlemen have done. So why do we always question ourselves? Why should we ever doubt ourselves when we're talking to prospects? We know what we have, or at least we should know what we have. You know, and so let's focus on what corporate has done, what they have done in the last few months. And one question I want to ask you guys is this. Why do you think they gave us an 8 or 9 month pre-launch? Because they knew it would take 8 or 9 months to have everything ready to go. That's why. We were told from day one when Troy got up and said, there's going to be bumps in the road, things may not move as quickly as you want, but it is moving and it's being built. You know, they've written almost 400,000 lines of code in the last few months. I always, we all love to play armchair quarterback, and I've been guilty of it. We've all been guilty of it. We all love to play armchair quarterback, but what we don't understand is, what's going on behind the scenes. Look at the stuff that has happened. They're paying people in the United States. They're about to pay people worldwide. They've set up payment systems where we're actually getting ACHs into our accounts. They've got concierge services already screened, rolled out, fully launched in our auto, our mobile, our mortgage, the rewards program, the hotels, the local savings, all that kind of stuff. The our travel, which is going to be a lot more robust soon, all this kind of stuff. They've done this in a few months. Think back to the last pre-launch you've been in where you actually even got paid. Have you ever even been paid in a pre-launch? How many products and services did they have in a pre-launch? How many relationships with concierge did they have in a pre-launch? How many lines of code had they written in their first 3-4 months? These guys are actually moving very, very quickly. We need to understand that when we talk to prospects, we need to point that out and say, look, this is phenomenal. And let's talk about this a little bit more. Another reason we wanted to wait until the card and the app and everything came out, we wanted a big enough network. We launched back on May 9th, I believe it was May 9th, with the goal saying we want X amount of people in our network so when the card does roll out or when the app's out first, we have leveraging power. We can go to merchants and make the program better. We wanted 8 to 9 months of momentum and build up before that launch because you don't want to go to a merchant with this fancy card. You don't want to go to these potential business contacts and partners with 5,000 people, 10,000 people, even 15, 20,000 people. You want to go to these guys with 40, 50, 60,000 people, 100,000 people. Then you're going to get better deals. Quite frankly, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have better purchasing power. If we went out and we try to manufacture a card like this right now with 10,000 members, what do you think our cost would be per card with everything? Now, let's take the same scenario. We have 50,000 people with 10,000 new people a month. Now what will our costs be? You got to think about that stuff. Too many members get hung up on things that they get one question like, oh, I don't have an answer for this. You got to think about this as a business person, and you got to treat this like a business. I say this all the time, almost every call now. If you put in half the effort, you will receive less than half the results. There's so much truth to that. What we should be doing in this time is bettering ourselves to become better marketers, better presenters, better closers. How do we do that? You've got to stay plugged in. It is essential you stay plugged in. We have 8 to 9 months to hone our skills, to get better, to improve. That's what we've got in front of us right now. And we need to take advantage of that time and do it. And as more and more products roll out, and there's a lot more stuff coming out. If you think these 3 or 4 items here under concierge is all we've got, you've got another thing coming because there's a lot of stuff rolling out with our network. We're at the very infancy stages. We're in the baby stages. And we already have 10,000 people in our network, right around 10,000 people already. It's phenomenal what we've already got with the little that we've rolled out. And the thing is, it's amazing. You think about, what do you have in front of you? You have a concierge for autos. So every time somebody purchases a car in your downline, in your business, you're paid a commission. Mobile, mortgages. I mean, think about it. It's almost a virtual mortgage place shop, a virtual, a mobile shop, a virtual car dealership. Once the card rolls out or the app rolls out first, splitting fees with the bank. You've got to know what you have and know how to present it correctly. Present it in stages, present it in steps. Because yes, we've got places, stuff like the Rev system, and there may be something there. I know corporate's working on a lot of stuff with systems and things. There's a lot of stuff being built, but a lot of it's being built, but they didn't want to go and have it out there. But it's like, oh, where's the corporate marketing system? Where's this? Where's that? They didn't want to throw a marketing system out there until they had some things to market. They don't want a marketing system that says coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. They want a marketing system that says here it is, because that makes a lot more sense. But right now we're getting leads and things are moving and it's fantastic. But if somebody asks me those questions, what's my answer? How do I answer it? Easy. Again, where's the card? You got to get the bank first. You can't have a card without a bank. You can't split merchant fees without a bank, because who does Walmart pay if you buy groceries on the merchant fee? They pay the issuing bank. So when you see these naysayers out there, and you see them all the time, in fact, I love it when they mention my name and stuff like that. It means you know what? It means I'm working. I love it when I have a naysayer online say, "Oh, John Johnson," I love it. It means I'm getting to them because I'm working. It means I must be doing something right. Okay, but when you have these questions come up, you've got to be prepared for that. What are we offering people right now? It's easy. You come, you start a business with me for $38 a month, 38 bucks a month. I will show you how to save money on certain items, on many items if you choose to do so. I will show you how to quickly recover your overhead by just bringing in 3 business partners, where you can recover every single month. You can go back to this pool. You can share the global pool bonus with people in your upline, in your sideline. I heard somebody today on Dave's call said, "Hey, before we had any kind of global pool, we had to sell at least 100 different products. You had to go get 3 people to be part of the global bonus pool." Think about this. When you're talking to people and they say, "Well, you know, one of my favorite things is this: only the people at the top get paid." Have you ever heard that? I bet none of you ever heard that, right? Only the people at the top get paid. Not with the global bonus pool, because guess what? We sell cars underneath us, whether it's Jeremy who's a master member, myself who's a master member, the people at top. Guess who gets paid? Anybody who has 3 in the pen. They all get paid. You can be 100 levels down, you get 3 in the pen, you get paid on stuff that I do, that Jeremy does, that people above and directly below us, whatever they do, you get paid on that. That's what the global bonus pool is. So no, not just everybody at the top gets paid. And again, we talked about the math a little bit last week. One of my things when I get concerns about, oh, here we go, 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and whatever, you know, I always ask them, I break it down for them. And it's very important to understand this stuff. Where does the money come from in a typical MLM? Where does it come from? It comes from the direct sale of your product or service. You know, you sell a bottle of juice, say it's $100. Then you sell it, 10 people buy the juice. That's $1,000. Corporate just made $1,000. Let's make it more interesting. Let's say they sell 1,000 of them. So there's $100,000 that corporate just made in 1 month. $100,000. What if they have an all-star that goes out and he or she makes $30,000 a month? Now they've got $70,000 left, but they still have 999 people to pay. Well, guess what? If they paid them all their money back, somebody would lose money. In fact, a lot of them would lose money because they're already in the hole. They couldn't do it. And so now they've got rent, they've got to ship, they've got their investors to pay, their employees, all that overhead. Those numbers get down. And then what if you have a second person who makes $10,000 a month? Now you're at $60,000. The math doesn't work. You cannot pay everybody in a traditional MLM. You can't. It's impossible. It's virtually impossible. That's why the 1 to 3% make most or all the money. It's broken. It's a broken system. You've got to understand that when you talk to people about our network and break it, simplify it. Hey, Doug, or whatever your name is, whoever you're talking to, Doug, if I can show you how to save more than you pay, would you be interested? If I can show you that this works because I used it myself, you would not believe how many people in our network have not even used some of the savings. Blows my mind. Now, granted, some of the international areas, we get that. That's all coming, and it's coming in a big way. I know some of the things rolling out. I am not at liberty to say. I will let a corporate mention those. It's very exciting, and it's coming. It's coming. For those that have signed up internationally, bless you. You guys are in the right place at the right time, and I would hold those positions like dear life. I would hold on to those like dear life. But I'm telling you, for those of us who can save, go out and save. Go get your own testimonials. It's a lot easier to use your testimonials than somebody else's because there's conviction when you speak, when you do that. If I say, well, I have a friend who saved this, or I have a friend who saved on that, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it than if you did it. They don't know your friend. They don't know your brother, your sister. They know you. Go out and save some money. Get excited. And then share that excitement, and people will feel it. They can see it. They can sense it. That's how you do this. People always ask me, how do I get people? How do I get people? Use a product, number one. Number two, get a testimonial of the product itself by actually using it. Number three, go share your testimonial. That's how you do it. Number four, learn what the business model is. Number five, just dive in deep and learn everything you can. What if I went out one day and I decided, you know what, I want to go open up my own, I don't know, sandwich shop. So I go out there, I pay the money, I buy the franchise, or I start my own, or whatever it may be. I pay the rent on the building, I get the employees, I cover all these costs. Well, guess what? I still have the burden of what? Getting customers. I have to go out and market. I have to talk to people. I have to bring people in. I've got to do this. I got to do that. I got to wear a lot of hats. This is actually better. Why? Because in most of those places, it's on you. They say it all the time. You're in business for yourself with our network, but you're not in business by yourself with our network. You've got a very active upline. You've got people on the sidelines that help you. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen so much sideline support in my life. It's absolutely amazing. I love it because this global bonus pool and everything else, it's kind of brought this whole thing together. But you can learn this business, and if you go out and you present this correctly, if you go out in the first 5 minutes, you're drawing circles and you're drawing a matrix, shame on you. That's not how you sell our network. That's not what it is. Our network is not just about the matrix. Don't do that. You go out there and say, hey, I've run across this amazing opportunity where I'm spending $38, and oh my gosh, the first 2 weeks I saved $200. I saved $150. I saved $39, whatever, as long as it's 38 or more. You say, this is incredible, guys. I'm saving money, and I'm just plugging into some of the savings. What if you met somebody who likes to travel a lot? What would I lead with? I don't know, maybe the hotels. Talk about the hotels, the discounts. What if you met somebody who's in the market for a car? Oh, you know what? I had this awesome concierge. This what? Concierge? What's that? Is that like a new flavor of cheese? No, it's a person that's going to help you be a professional buyer for cars. Lead with that. Talk to people a little bit. Get to know them a little bit. What are their needs? What are they wanting to do? What if you have somebody in the market to refinance? Lead with the refinance. Lead with what they want or what they need at that time in their life. That's what you lead with. You don't lead with circles. If I see any of you drawing circles, I'm telling you, I'm going to call you and I'm going to yell at you. And then you'll just hang up on me anyway, so it's no big deal. But still, I will attempt to do it. Don't lead with the comp plan. Don't lead with that kind of stuff. Lead with what the people want and what the people need. Because we have something for everyone. Who do you know has a cell phone? You know anybody with a mobile device? A few of us may know a couple of people who have a cell phone. How cool would it be if I went up to someone to say, you know what? I've been thinking about, asking you or presenting a business opportunity to you, and they're thinking, oh no, oh crap, here we go. I said, no, before you judge it, hear me out. I said, you've got that cell phone. How much are you paying? I don't know, X amount of dollars. Okay, cool. What if I was able to help you save $50 a month, $100 a month, 200, who knows? Would that be of interest to you? Well, I don't know. Tell me about it. Okay. What if I can save you money on a car or whatever it may be? What if I can do that? Okay, cool. Well, what does that have to do with your business? It has everything to do with my business. I'm in business to save people money. I'm in business to help people save on all sorts of different aspects of their life. That's what my business is. I help you save money. Well, that's kind of different. That's kind of cool. What do you sell? I sell savings. That's what I sell. I just told you that. I sell savings. Now, what if I can tell you can save more than you pay so your overhead's already covered in your savings? Would that be of interest to you? Okay, I'm still here. I'm listening. Those are the types of conversations. Then you ask questions. What are you looking to save money on? You like to dine out? You like to eat out in your local area? Well, let's see how much money you can save on local dining. Let's see how much money you can save here, or how much money you can save there. And as more and more products roll out, let's, ask them more questions. What do you like to save money on? What do you like to do? What are your leisure activities? Get to know them a little bit, and then close them. And in worst case scenario, you get a charter member who's saving money and he or she may not leave because you've got them using the product. You know how cool it is when you sign somebody up by getting them to use a product first? Because then they have a testimony of the product. That's a great customer to have. What if you just signed up too many of us sign people up and they're not using the product? Well, what's their conviction then? What are they still here for? I've had conversations with people. I still have 20,000 points. Ha ha ha. I'm like, why do you have 20,000 points? Why aren't you using them? Go save yourself some money. And if you're fully committed, use the products. Go save yourself money and teach people how to do the same. That's what you do. That's how you recruit into this business. If I opened up a gym, and it was so funny. This true story. Several years ago, I was a member at Gold's Gym, and all these personal trainers were coming over, introducing themselves because I was in there all the time or whatever, working out. And I saw this personal trainer, and he was huge. He was like 300-pound guy, and he wasn't lean or anything. And I'm like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but what I'm saying is, he was a personal trainer, and I thought, I'm not hiring you to train me. You're not even healthy yourself. It was weird. I'm like, you're a personal trainer, really? And I was just like, I actually told my friend, I'm like, I wonder if he has a lot of clients. I mean, I almost felt bad. I'm like, yeah, you may want to get in shape first and then become a trainer. Same thing here. Don't go out and sell something you're not even using yourself. And people will see through it. What if they ask you this? How much have you saved? Well, I don't know. I haven't used it. I don't know. I haven't tried yet. And they're like, well, and you're selling me what? You haven't even done it yourself. What are you trying to sell me here? Then they look at you and they think, oh, I'm just a number to you, right? You're just trying to sell me on this. You're not sharing anything. You're selling me because you haven't used it yourself. Shame on you, right? Shame on you. My first week, I saved money on an oil change, saved money on a hotel, I saved money eating out, I saved money on all sorts of different places. Why? Because I wanted to use it so I can look people in the eyes and say, hey, I actually use this stuff. I'm saving money. I have real testimonials. That's how you do it. That's how you close people. Regardless of the leads, I can send you guys 100 leads. But the person who's going to close most of those leads would be the person who's actually used the products, that actually have a testimonial and conviction, because when they speak with their prospects, they can share their knowledge. And you know what the cool thing is? It's a lot easier to share something you've used than it is to share something that, oh, it sounds good. In theory, this is great, but does it work? How do they know? How can you convince them that it works if you yourself don't even know it works? Doesn't make any sense. Anytime you sell any product, I don't care what it is, you need to become the product. Another thing too, I'm just throwing this out there. If you love our network, like we all love our network, if you want to promote our network, you should become our network. What do I mean by that? I asked this question about a month and a half ago or so. I said, hey, when you see my crazy looking mug on a photo, you hear my name, do you think our network? And most people said, yes. You know what? Actually, I do. I'm all over our network. I am our network. I'm not out there promoting 30 different things. I'm not out there, one day I'm promoting this, the next Tuesday I'm promoting that, Wednesday I'm promoting this and this and that. I am 100% our network. If you have a full-time job, you can still be 100% our network. When people see you, do they think our network? Think about this as from a prospect's point of view. If I'm going to decide between this person and that person, I have actually had prospects before, and they'll say, all right, well, so-and-so approached me with this about a month ago. Now, obviously, I try to get them back with so-and-so, and if they're active, I've been able to do it. But they'll come to me and say, well, I want to work with you. I'm like, well, if so-and-so already approached you, just work with them, and I talk them up, da-da-da. But why didn't they sign up with so-and-so that previous month? Because so-and-so may have been promoting 20 different things, or so-and-so didn't give the vibe that they're our network. When you're asking somebody to be your business partner, they should be able to look at you and say, well, I do want to work with you. You're a hard worker. You answer your phone. You get back to your texts. You do this. You do that. You got to build a reputation and a rapport with these people so they trust you, not just as a friend, but a business partner. You're asking people to go into business with you, well, then become a business partner, not just a friend. Business partner, you got to take it to that next level. You got to step your game up a little bit. You've got to get people to want to work with you. I guarantee right now over half the people I signed up because they knew I would work this with them. They knew I would work hard. They knew very little about the program. They're like, well, geez, John, if you're involved, yeah, let me take a look at it. Because you got to build up that reputation of someone who cares, who's passionate. When they do something all the way. They don't do anything halfway. Again, if you do this halfway, expect less than half the results, because that's what's going to happen. You're either in or you're not. And if you're in, people will see that you're in, but if you've got one foot out the door, they're going to notice that. You've got to become a better version of you in business. And you've got to be whatever you promote. If you're promoting CBD oils, you should be using those oils. If you're promoting whatever, it may be, you should be using that product. That's the first thing you use, the product itself. Then teach people to say, look, I'm sold on this product. I use it. It's benefited me in this many ways. And as more and more things roll out, it'll benefit me more and more and more. I'm so excited about this thing, thinking, oh my goodness, I can make a business out of this. I can build a business with this. And I'm able to look people right in the eyes and say, you know what, worst case scenario, I can sleep at night. Why? Because I know if I sign so-and-so up, so-and-so can save more than they pay, even if they struggle for a few months to get people. But I don't feel bad because they didn't lose. They didn't lose. Feel their pain. In other MLMs, they lost. Joey lost in the last 2 MLMs. Why? Because Joey couldn't sell juice that was overpriced. He couldn't do it. Nor could 95% of the other people. They couldn't do it. They all lost. I can't sleep at night. I'm very honest with prospects. I'm very open. I'm very transparent. And they know that about me. I don't hold back. If you can do the same thing, I said, look, yes, I've used the product. They've asked, have you saved money? Yes, I have. Here's how much I've saved. I've saved a lot of money. You only spent how much? So then if you can show them, oh, I saved X amount of money, the question isn't, I have to spend how much? No, it's I only have to spend how much. Because I show them proof that this works. Then it's, oh, it's only 38 bucks? Really? That's it? As opposed to, oh crap, 38 bucks? No, I don't know about that. It's a totally different conversation because I use that approach. I save first, I share my savings and say, hey, I've saved X amount, I paid X amount. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? There's my presentation. Now come learn how to save like I just did and learn how to be, oh, and by the way, I'm making money doing this just by having conversations just like this with other people, like yourself. Can we do that? Then start asking them follow-up questions. Hey, who do you know? Do you know anybody who's built networks before? No, not a whole lot. Okay, well, do you know anybody who knows anybody who's built networks before? Yeah, I know this guy. One of my friends knows this person. Okay, well, let's get started and let's create a plan, and let's stick with that plan. Let's meet every Monday and let's talk about what we're going to do this week. Let's talk about how many people we're going to talk to. Let's talk about, you know what? Let's pull up a couple restaurants and talk about it. Let's go save ourselves $50 this week. Let's go do this. Let's create a savings. Let's do this. Let's do that. That's your business plan. And say, let's go ahead and talk to so-and-so, but you know what? Let's save a little bit of money first. You've got to learn to close the prospects, close your people. There's a lot of different ways to and here's the cool thing about it too. Our team has just under 6,000, I think it's like almost 5,800 people to be exact. We started with 60. Then signed up a few more, 70, 80. I think I've signed up maybe 70 to 84 people, somewhere in there. I didn't know 6,000 people. I had no clue. 6,000, that's a lot of people. I still don't know some of the people on the team. I'd like to know everyone, but I'm trying to get out there and as much as I can and meet, greet, and whatever. But I didn't start out with 6,000 people that I knew. That's the power of networking. Again, going back to 6 degrees of separation. We're all connected through 6 degrees of separation. It's amazing. And think about it, people who knows whoever, and we're all connected more than we believe we're connected. We have no idea until we're out there talking to people. And I can tell you one thing, rich people, people that aren't as fortunate, whatever, they all love to save money. In fact, some of the richest people are some of the most frugal people I've ever met in my life. How do you think they got rich? They saved money. They didn't spend on everything. They saved, they invested, made some very smart financial decisions, and they were able to do well for themselves. And they've remained frugal. People, I don't care who it is. Oh, so-and-so doesn't need to save money. I don't need to talk to him. He's already got money. How do you know? People love to save money. Your market for our network is pretty much anybody. It's everybody. You don't need a fancy marketing system. Go out and build a big team. Guess how many ads I've placed? Guess how many ads outside of the comments and posts I make on my Facebook page, outside in cyber world or whatever, guess how many ads I've placed? I can tell you, it's a big number, 0. Guess how many marketing systems I've used? 0. None. But we're at almost just under 6,000 people in a pre-launch so far in a few months. Why? Because I opened my mouth and I called the people. I didn't know who they knew. I had no idea. And then you cultivate those relationships. When you bring people in, talk to them all the time, become their best friend, their business partner. Push them a little bit. Allow them to push you. I go to the gym all the time, 4 or 5 days a week with my son, because it's motivation. If I went by myself, I'd probably miss more days. I have someone I go with, because when he's tired, I'll push him. When I'm tired, he'll push me a little bit. And then we go. Same thing with a business partner. You motivate each other. You build it like a business. And then your business partner may know a few people. And then when you bring people in, if you have a direct, sign up a direct, don't abandon your direct. Do everything you can do to help your directs, because that's your direct path to success. If you abandon your directs, don't expect. I cannot tell you how many phone calls I get, and I'll say, who sponsored you? Oh, I don't know. He or she disappeared last month. What? Then why did they sponsor you? Treat it like a business. Be serious about it. Learn what's going on, and also be patient. Allow corporate to catch up to where we want to be. Anytime they roll out any program, I don't care if it's RAuto or this or that, they've got to program it. That means a lot of coding. There's days, weeks, months. I mean, it's a lot of work. So what if the bank takes another month or 2 from where we thought it was in August or whatever? So what? That's how it works. So focus and build the business on what they have now. And when people ask you those questions, half the times they ask you that question because they're already kind of convinced, I don't want to do it. I'm just going to throw some crud out there and see if I can trip this person up. Don't let them trip you up. Just be honest. Just say, look, You know, it takes a while to acquire a bank. How many members, how many of you guys have acquired banks? Anybody that's done it, they should know it's a process. It takes time. What's the name of the bank, John? What's the name of the bank? Why in the world would we tell you the names of the banks that we are being acquired? Have you ever seen a big company buy out another company or purchase, acquire another company, and before they did it, they went and told everybody they're doing it? How many times do you see that? That would be nuts. That'd be crazy. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to mess up the integrity of that business relationship, and that other company that they may be acquiring or buying out or whatever they're doing may never want anything to do with them again. They would abandon their trust. They would lose it. Some of us know who some of these banks are. Some of us aren't saying a word. You let the process happen. But when a prospect asks you, there's your answer. You know, you don't mention stuff like that until it's done and it's ready to be rolled out and implemented. And then people say, oh, scam, you can't tell me that. Oh, it's a scam. No, it isn't. Because if it's a scam, why do we have an office in Provo? Why are our faces all the way out there? Why do you have our bios and you can come see us? People fly from all over the world and meet us right there in Provo. Why are we paying people every week? Why are people getting commissions? Why do we have thousands of testimonials of people saving money even in a pre-launch when we rolled out the basic of savings that we're working on? There's things that are going to destroy what we have right now in savings. There's a lot of things coming, being programmed, contracts are being signed, things are being done. Understand what you have in our network. And so when somebody asks you, I don't care what the question is, have that conviction, be able to answer that question with confidence and with trust and with faith, knowing that, hey, we're in the right place at the right time. Because our network is phenomenal. And the bigger it gets, the better it gets. We are blessed to be part of our network. Treat it as such. We're fortunate, we're lucky to have this opportunity. Opportunities like this don't come around often. They just don't. I've seen a lot of opportunities out there. I've never seen anything like this. Close your prospects by becoming part of the product, by using the products, by being able to understand how business works, how business takes time, things need to develop, and also think back to all the things we've already accomplished in 4.5 months. When you really go back and think about it, it is amazing what they have accomplished in a short 4.5 months. It's unbelievable, really. And they're just getting started. That's how you sell. That's how you close our network. Anyway, thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you to the farmers for having me over to their house tonight. I'm excited about to start another presentation here. Everybody, we love you. You guys have a great night. We will talk to you next time.